All right, back. This one's gonna be a quick one. I'm a little short on time, but I did want to talk about this week's pickups, which really wasn't much, which is why this one's gonna be really, really quick. So I guess we'll jump right into it. If you did not know, I am a big fan of the X-Men and kind of the part that doesn't get talked about too much as far as an X-Men lore is kind of like the Shi'ar Empire. I have Lilandra already, and I also have Warlord, which is Professor Xavier's Shi'ar rebuilt. Legs work now in a badass costume, which wasn't in for that damn long. Now, I actually have Deathbird. Actually, this is a whole 2-pack. Let me get the other person out of here. All right. Oh, the struggle trying to get it out of the plastic. Sorry, Deathbird and Guardian. This is a great 2-pack specifically for Deathbird. I really wanted Deathbird because look at that face sculpt. That is such a great face sculpt, head sculpt, a face sculpt or face paint job for a head sculpt. The thing is awesome. Look at this cape. The feathering or scaling or whatever you want to call that on this thing. It's flexible, so you can pose her. It's not as thick as most stuffs like this one. So you can pose her, but she's awesome. The only thing in their Hasbro, man, you're killing me with this, where there's not much movement in the top. I just went through that with White Queen. This one does have some articulation in it, but you can't crunch worth anything. And if they're not going to do the ab cut and they're not going to put a ball joint down at the bottom, it really limits what you can do as far as articulation with this thing. Other than that, everything's pinless, legs, arms. I hate that she didn't come with alternate hands, but what else would I have Deathbird do? This one's my favorite, is this one, because I kind of like, she's like, I'm telling you something. But that smile's amazing. I love that smile. This is all I wanted. You need to see the back a little bit more again. This is all I wanted for my Deathbird, and I can't wait to stand her next to Lilandra and Warlord. The hose and tubes, I guess if you haven't seen, they actually connect here at the back, which is a cool way to hide it. And it doesn't really get in the way. They're pretty flexible. It doesn't get in the way much. So this is a great pickup. I literally spent $60 just for Deathbird. Literally, just for Deathbird. Oh, before I get... I said Guardian, I meant Gladiator. I forgot to show the box. Front. Back, which is great artwork, by the way. This is great artwork. Right from the comics. This is great artwork. This is one of the reasons why I really fell in love with her when she got introduced in X-Men. The side. The other side. And we're done. All right. I forget to do that sometimes, and I always want to make sure that I do it. So, Gladiator, not Guardian. I don't know why I'm saying Guardian. Gladiator. Dude, I didn't get the original one that came out, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because this too, I would have been mad if I had owned 2 Gladiators. This guy's super cool. Another member of the Shi'ar Empire. He doesn't have that upper articulation, but he does get the ab crunch, which actually makes it pretty cool. And it helps him go back for flying poses. He can lick his head up pretty good, so that's really awesome if you want to get him into a flying pose. He also comes with alternate hands and this alternate face sculpt. Whoops, I always lose the camera here. Right here. That is a cool face sculpt. That is what he's going to have, even though he's probably going to sit in a neutral position. But he's going to be screaming like, ah, as he stands in an A stance on my shelf. Which is crazy. All right. Like I said, he does have 2 additional hands. But that's really all they gave us in this. They gave us like a little background, which really isn't much. That's going to go tossed over there too. The guy's super articulated. For somebody, which they talk about with Wolverine all the time, is like, oh, big muscles, he can't use the double jointed elbows. Yeah, you can. Look how much range he got, and look how big his arm is. This is the first time I'm going to disagree with Hasbro. It's like, sometimes they think they're just saving money. Which, I get it sometimes. They do have to save money, and especially if we make 15 different Wolverines. We can't be making them all super high articulated, I guess, especially if it's just a small segment that wants it. He has boot swivel. He has the ankle swivel. No toe hinge. If you're not Spider-Man, Hasbro's not giving you a toe hinge. Or Black Widow, I think. No, she didn't even have it. You got your thigh cut. He's got waist swivel. And like I said, he's got ab crunch. And everything's double jointed. Like, I'm becoming more of a reviewer every time I do this stuff. Try not to. I'm just trying to show you guys my toys. Even the face sculpt on this guy is pretty cool. Let me show you that one. This is what I should have him on my shelf with, and it's just a regular stance. But that's not what's gonna happen. He's definitely getting screaming face. Anyway, so that is Gladiator, another member of Shi'ar Empire. I'm not sure who else I need from the Shi'ar Empire. I know there's some ancillary characters and stuff like that, lesser known people than I know. I guess I'm not that big of a Shi'ar Empire person, but for my Shi'ar Empire, having Lilandra, Warlord, Deathbird, and Gladiators, I'm done. I'm done with that. That's all I really need from that. Unless they have somebody else that cool that comes out, which maybe we'll hear before the end of the year. I don't have any other news. They did some reissues from Marvel Legends, which is really cool. Cable came back out, which I overspent for him because I really, really wanted him back in the day. And I think they what's the Future Sentinel guy? I can't remember, but I ordered him as well. They re-released him, and they put him up on pre-order. I don't know why I can't think of his name right now. Either way, so that's all I have for toy news. Maybe more things will come out as we start to get towards Black Friday. I'm sure a bunch of things will come on sale, and maybe they'll do some more pre-orders, but that's really all we got. All right, so with that being said, I'll talk to you guys next week. Later.